finally here, and hopefully it'll open up avenues for all of the various kinds of issues that are sort of highlighted on the cover with the photos that address various hazard concerns in Mendocino County. So I'm glad to see the final document, and hopefully our partners and even the county itself can move forward with some of these grant applications. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Woodworth.
Welcome.
Any comments from the public on the consent calendar? Okay. With those questions of Supervisor Pinch being answered, what's the action of the board? On items 1 through 6, the consent calendar and the water agency.
Move approval.
It's been moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded for the approval of the consent calendars, both items 1 through 6 on the regular and the water agency consent calendar. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you very much. Approved unanimously. Let's see. Let's move to, let me check, make sure we covered all the items. Let's move to agenda item 8B, discussion possible action, adoption of the board action plan for 2008 and approval of the amended board master meeting schedule. To the CEO's office, Ms. Classy.
Okay, you should have the proposed revised version of the plan. You got a proposed version in your packet, and then the next day you got a revised version. Nothing stays the same for more than 24 hours. So what I'd like to do is just quickly walk you through the actions that you're planning for this year. It is not too late to make any changes in this document, however. So, you know, as we go through, if there's something that you'd like to change, then you can still say that. And the recommended motion on this, once you finalize this plan, you're also then making whatever associated changes in your master meeting schedule that you adopted last week. So you've already accomplished the January 8th meeting. January 14th focused meeting was on the general plan update and reviewing of the general plan amendment requests. Today's board meeting, you're looking at the legislative program and the board action plan. The travel to Washington, D.C. for the county delegation is marked on here as well. Moving into late February, the traditional time, the February workshop is devoted to the first kind of discussion about the budget, looking at board priorities, going over the second quarter fiscal report, and giving more details on how the state budget seems to be shaping up. The March 17th workshop then will be focused on economic development. So one change, because the earlier draft was presented to you at your December workshop, is that the only true workshops, aside from fiscal ones, are going to be focused on economic development this year. And the feeling is taking one topic and then being able to go into it in some amount of depth. So March is when we start that discussion, and part of it is looking at economic development in rural counties. We hope to have the economic development coordinator on board by that time. April 1st is one of your regularly scheduled meetings, but that's when the fee hearings will be held in preparation for the proposed budget. So we are changing that calendar to put the fee hearings towards the beginning of the deliberations on the proposed budget. The April 8th board meeting is an off-site board meeting. April 21st, we're not calling it a workshop because a workshop implies, apparently to some people, no action being taken. So we're using the term focused meeting, meaning that it's a single topic meeting, but action definitely can be taken. The feeling is that talking about fire services and emergency medical services, you usually have a fairly large crowd, and we will be talking about options both for next year's budget as well as for other support and interaction with those services. So we would like to devote a focused meeting where those are the only topics and really be able to present staff work on that and have the board make some decisions and give direction on that. The May 19th board workshop, again, is the traditional one on the budget. That's the third quarter budget report. We go over the May revise, and we kind of give all the background material for the proposed budget. June 10th is on a Tuesday. It's a work session that is devoted to budget development, and that is where the actual proposed budget, I'll call it, is presented to the board. So we've got a lead up where at the end of May, we give the background information of all the issues that are going into the development of the proposed budget, and then on June 10th, you get the proposed budget itself. June 17th is slated for the proposed budget to be adopted, but there is a following Tuesday if we need additional time in terms of giving direction to staff on that.
Supervisor Dover, and then
Is there-
Supervisor Pinchot.
On the June 10th, what is the expectation of that meeting?
The expectation is that the spreadsheet, I think you're familiar with the spreadsheet where we kind of go through, that will be presented, and we will walk through each of the areas: criminal justice, public resources, health and human services, general government, and you will get a sense of what the proposed budget is and how it was balanced.
Is there so on the 17th, 1 week later, you're anticipating bringing the package together for adoption?
Yes.
You said there was some flexibility in bumping that 1 more week.
If need be. We'd like to keep it on the 17th, but if the board would like more time. The proposed budget is the CEO's budget, and so it is a quick turnaround between the 10th and the 17th, but if we're prepared to do that.
2 points. One,
Okay.
it is the CEO's budget.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, has gotten lost in the past. It's not our budget yet. We have our fun on the final, but that said, right now, I may not be here on the 10th. So if we bump both of those 1 week up or back, or up, I guess, whatever direction they go, would that still fit with your timelines? If the 10th work session becomes the 17th, and then the week after that was the actual adoption, does that mess up your calendar?
Well, I guess the answer is yes, but we would, we'll have to adapt. The reason it's the 10th and not the 3rd is because we're working with all the departments.
No. I'm
all the
sorry,
way
the other, bump it.
back the other way.
Have the 10th work session actually on the 17th, which actually gives you one extra week.
An extra week. Yeah, it's cutting it pretty close, but we could do that, and I don't think we'd mind an extra week.
I mean, I have 4 colleagues here that can do it just fine. I can get my input to you. Just, if it works for you, that's fine. If not, I mean, if I am actually not here on the 10th, which I'm not sure at this point, I mean, life goes on, it's not a big deal.
Sure.
We could deal with the 17th. It's just at that point, then we definitely have to have it adopted on the 24th.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Supervisor Pinchot.
You say you definitely, first of all, a proposed budget, we really don't adopt. I mean, the proposed budget's just out there.
No, it is adopted formally by the board as the proposed budget.
Well, we receive it, but we adopt the final budget.
There is a vote to adopt
You
it,
know.
yes.
But I don't put much emphasis, especially this year, in the proposed budget, because number one, that's not even the close of our business year. And